Okay, looks like I'm live here, folks. This is my first one, so I might fumble over some things. But yeah, right to the topic why you should just ignore the war in Venezuela news. Um, Number one, there's not enough U.S. personnel to accomplish an invasion. What, 18,000? No, that's not happening. Secondly, it's incredibly poor strategy. Let's call it poor strategy to threaten things you can't do, you're not willing to do, they're not going to happen. No one takes you seriously. Everybody knows United States doesn't have the public will for another war, whether it's a week or a month or another 20 years of just wasted money. And yeah, really, that's where all of this is going. Money, year in, year out, Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter who's in office. My entire life, Perry Geriatric, that's the name of the channel, means I'm around being geriatric. My whole life, it doesn't matter who's in charge. The Pentagon gets the money. Um, Whether you're paying attention or not, you might have heard around, what was it, September 11th, 2001. They were trying to audit the Pentagon, and that just means uh, we want to see where the money is. They want to get into the details. Back in the 80s, there were these partial audits. A couple thousand pages would be released, and senators would find, $20,000 toilet seats. That was really kind of the meme at the time, was the toilet seats were costing as much as a house back then. But yeah, so they were trying that in 2001, and something happened. Let's just say. But for the last 8 years, they've actually been trying to put on a good face. And yeah, I was doing some research for this story. I actually even got into a lot of the military details of why the invasion's not happening. But the more that I kept looking into this, it's the money. The money, it's the money. It's always been the money. So yeah, they're trying to put a happy face on all this war spending, and apparently for the last 8 years, they haven't done the partial audit. Um, they're just asking for a basic accounting. They're not looking for explanations. Just show the money in, money out, and they can't do that. They they can't. Um, yeah, I found this wonderful quote, which I'll reread to you in regular English. The department is unable to provide assurance over the effectiveness of internal controls in place to support reliable financial reporting within applicable laws and regulations. Yeah, you just need to get some of that verbiage out of there. The department is unable, the Pentagon is unable to provide reliable financial reporting within applicable laws and regulations. They can't provide anything that'll pass muster. They couldn't even show money in, money out. That's how badly they failed. So, yeah, it's always about the money, and actually right now it's a distraction story. It's uh, this is a big topic. The bond markets. Basically, all you need to know about the bond markets is that's where the debt, the future spending for the United States government comes from. They want to cover it ahead of time. There have been two countries, Japan and China. They've been the only two people, groups of people, countries buying up this debt. Japan, they're trying to save themselves. They have a far right wing government that's looking out for themselves. They have no faith or confidence in United States government in any way, shape, or form. They're just not buying our debt. They're selling what they have. And yeah, the Fed had to beg China to continue buying our debt. China, our supposed enemy, is the only reason the United States government can pay its bills. So, yeah, sad but true. Um, well, I did do all I did do all this research on the military aspect. So if you don't believe me, I'm just going to tack this on here at the end. Um, yeah, why it's not going to happen. Um, I think even more importantly, why it just looks so bad for the United States. First, there was something called the Monroe Doctrine. I have no idea whether this was covered in your education. It goes back to like the 1830s. So for nearly 100 years, it means the United States can do whatever it feels like in North and South and Central America, the Caribbean, you know, around the Pacific and the Atlantic, our, you know, sphere of influence, shall we say. So not only is Venezuela going against this, but yeah, Russia and China have been providing assets to Venezuela, which, if this is new news to you, they've done their work because, yeah, it's not good. Iran has given them not just a bunch of small, fast moving boats, they use them in swarm attacks. So basically, it's a lot of inexpensive small boats against million, billion-dollar giant ships. They're armed with some very advanced rockets. Actually, didn't write that down, but if there is something you want to look up, something that's a complete and total game changer besides, little boats and drones and swarm attacks. Yeah, it's called a Reshnik. That's O as in Oscar, R as in red, E as in egg, S as in Sam, H as in helium, N as in Nancy, I as in igloo, and K as in kilo. If you look them up, if you look for video, what you'll probably see is when Russia fired them against Ukraine. I believe it was right around Kiev. You'll see these flashes come down and everything glows. Yeah, it almost looks like a nuclear weapon. Long story short, these are the hypersonic missiles. They move too fast to be targeted. They can't be targeted. They can be adjusted mid course. And yeah, being hypersonic, that means they're moving really fast. The video that, if you see it, if it's still up, of it hitting in Ukraine, they didn't have warheads on them. Nothing. Nothing at all. The explosions were caused by the kinetic energy. The speed of those missiles makes it a game changer. It delivers nuclear style devastation without crossing that threshold. So, yeah, it's a big distraction. It's a big waste of time. There's way bigger problems that United States has, and the rest of the world can see that while our financial house of cards is fumbling. I mean, they honestly have done a great job of keeping it all propped up all these years. I've been watching this actually for a very long time. Everything that I saw said somewhere between 2015, 2017, as soon as BRICS came in, competition would pretty much mean the end of the dollar. Yeah, that's something else you can look up. Yeah, Saudi Arabia may have just signed off on the end of the petrodollar. All that inflation, all those clickbaity titles that you've been seeing maybe for the last 5 or 6 years. Um, Yeah, that's actually coming now. Best I can say here is, stock up on toilet paper and things that you're going to want to see in your house. Uh, oh, yeah. And again, if this content by any means informs you, educates you, entertains you, find the like button, subscribe. I'm not really sure which ones they're paying attention to anymore, but I'd greatly appreciate it so you can see me here again on Perry Geriatric. And thanks again. Stay frosty.